Well, let's see what the FTSE's been up to today.
Wait. Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, big fella, that is the Scruffy Trader. What I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, grab a coffee, crack on. And if you like Forex mugs, do drop down in the description and you'll find Winky's little shop. Anyway, enough of the self-plugs. She told me I had to do it. Otherwise, I can't have any chips. I have to calm down. And do you want some chips? Steph, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sorry, it's a bit of an in-joke from us the other day when we had a bit of a jolly time. So, what am I doing with the FTSE? Well, every morning when I come in, I have a bit of a chat with the guys in the Discord, as you might have seen on many of the videos. And I make up a sheet for them. Now, this is posted on the hour each time that I'm working till I'm paid. And what it basically tells me is what I'm looking at today. And it gives me a good idea of what I'm going to be aiming for. Now, I make it for the guys so they can see it. It'll work out the strength of the market. It'll work out the change in the market, because that's important. But it'll also pick out two areas that are good products of the day. Now, on the majors, doesn't matter what the strength is or the change, this basket here will always move. And the one that's going to move today is looking to be the euro dollar. Okay. Now, if you're not looking at the majors and you're just looking across the board, then you look at the market pick and that'll pick it out. And it's sort of any of these. So it's a New Zealand paired against any of them three, or the euro paired with them. And as you can see, there's the euro dollar there, which is in the majors. It's quite happy. And then the pound is down here. So what it's looking at is this. Okay. Now I'm looking at the FTSE. Now these four products here, they're my personal basket. And I look at them every day. Whether, I don't care. They're my basket. That's what I look at. Right. So I check these all the time. And then if there's something in here catches my fancy, it'll end up underneath. All right. Now out of these, well, sort of euro dollar's a buy at the moment, but it's risky, which is telling me to wait. So it's still good, but it might be this afternoon. The DAX, again, is risky, and it's telling me to wait. The cable, it's actually saying it's pretty almost ready to go, but it's also telling me to wait. So I've got to wait for my trigger candles. But the FTSE's almost ready. In fact, it is ready. It's a fair trade. So I'm going to be a bit careful with the pip count, 5-10 pips maybe. And I'm going to sell it. All right. And I'm looking at the hour. There's my anchor chart, which is here. So what can we see in this chart if we were just looking at it and I'm trying to get a gauge of what's going on? Well, it's not as difficult as you think. Well, straight away, you can see there's a solid drive and there's a bit of a retracement coming this way. Now, I can see that because of this. You know, if I just pull that through, you can see that's kind of shown upward pressure because that low hasn't breached that one. Okay. Long tail pushing up, and then sure enough, there's a green pushing up. So a good entry point could possibly be up round here somewhere because the main trend is down. Okay. And you can kind of see that there as well. So this could just be a bit of a pullback and then down, a bit of a pullback, then down. Okay. So this is where we work. Now, from here, if I just drop down bid, it's now given me some good branch points where I can work to. So what I can do is I'll just drop a little line in here, just like so. And what I'm using this for is entry exit points based on the last solid move that I can see, right? And if you're asking why is it this move and not sort of one of these, it's because it's the last kind of leg that I can see. I can see an upward move here because of this point. Just take that from there to there and highlight that again. I can see that's moving up, so it's kind of the bottom part of the move, but that is incredibly aggressive, pushed up and then slammed down. Okay. Whereas here, that went down and it almost retraced the whole lot. So this section is what's in play and valid at this moment in time. So this is where I'm looking to go. So I can look to enter here and then stage all the way up to there with a view to get back down again. Now, how far do I need to go? Well, I just said I want about 10 pips. So if I measure out 10 pips, and I think it's going to revisit the bottom, well, there you go. I've got loads of room to get 10 pips in this hour segment. Right? So I'm not worried about the target either. So let's drop this down a little bit. See what it now looks like. I'll get rid of that. Now we can see, well, it's up, it's down. This is what the hourly's showing me. Bit of consolidation here. Now we have another drop here, which is excessive. And we got a star. So let's have a look, see what this has to say for itself. Well, if we go on that way, well, it's come up to the 50%. We know 50% is a key level. So what have we got? Well, there we are. There's a double tap. Just there. Okay. That's the area. So a nice order there or underneath here. Get us down. Drop it into 5 minutes. We can see what's going on. I can do a candle count. There. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at this moment in time, down here somewhere. So if I place an order there with a view to trail it up, and we'll see it's coming into this area now. So actually it will put the order underneath that and then let it roll over, because I think this might be a good area to enter. You know, and why? Well, it's come up, it's pushed down, it's coming back up. Seems to be failing a little bit. Yeah. Okay, quite happy with that. So that's what we'll do. Give me just a second. Little order underneath that. That's the order. There we go. So what have we got here? All right. Just so we can work this out. Now we build a bit of structure on this market just by framing everything up and looking at key turning points, Fibonacci, which is a hypothetical turning point. However, it's high probability as well, and it's pushing into the area I want. So this candle's got 2 minutes to go, but I am going to edge that up to that, and I'm just going to follow the pricing up till it tags me in. Once it tags me in, I'll stage up to this point with a view of I'll get whatever we can. All right, and it's that simple. And then it's a case of managing the trade into a profit. Let me run it out, and I'll come back to you at the end. Now I do have a meeting at 11:30, so if it runs over the morning, I may have to switch the camera off and then come back to you. But you know the premise of the trade, and you should be able to see the date, which is the 8th of December, and it's currently 9:20. So if I do switch off, you'll be able to follow the candlesticks. All right, catch you in a bit. Okay, guys, just been stopped out, but job's done. Kind of done what I wanted to do. I can keep playing with it, re-enter, come back out, all of that malarkey. But it's done just by breaking up the chart, as you've seen. This was the key area I was talking about. Well, as you can see, it struggled on this area every time, then collapsed. It went up pretty much to the pip on the level you saw me mark out here, and then back down again. And I have nothing running, no orders in the system, and it has paid me £145 for the last hour or so. Live with that. You know, there's certain parts of me sort of thinks, well, I can let it run and I can grab sort of the 180 when it's on the table, but I always want to see if it'll run a little bit. And the other side of me always wants to get a little bit of money on the table straight away, because it's all well and good having 180 running, and once you've taken all of that money, the trade is then gone. But the other side of it is when you work and you way to it. What if it gets to 90 quid and you think, well, I'm holding for the 180, and then it turns around and you're 180 in the red? Then you're not so happy, are you? Which is why I carve. When I'm day trading, I'm carving all the time. I'm just getting money into the bag, into the bag, into the bag. And that way, it sort of helps up here. Now, in this morning's morning call, when we have a video chat with each other, it was a lot about the psychology of trading, and about how your mental state plays a lot on how you trade. And that's because whatever industry you're in, believe it or not, trading will 10 times whatever your emotions are, because it's put into such a short period of time. You know, you go through joy, you go through sadness, you go through anger. All these emotions are hitting you very quickly, very, very compressed. Now, depending on the type of person you are, depends how you deal with it. Now, if you're angry, you'll lash at the market. If you're frightened, you'll pull from the market. You've got to be able to control all of these demons. And that's why trading is incredibly hard. It's not the technicals, guys. It's you. You're the hard part. Part of the Scruffy Squad, where its strength is, it's the community of it. Because none of us is better than anybody else. I make certain of that. We are all on a level playing field. Doesn't matter what your background is, or your financial worth, or what your perceived skill set is. Doesn't matter. We're all the same, you know. And anybody who's a bit of a blowhard and one thing and another, they don't last long. Why? Because it's all about I'll rephrase that. It's not about I'm still hungover from the other day. It's not about individual perception. It's about group perception. What I mean by that, if you're in it just self-serving of, just show me a strategy, I'll be all right with the strategy. I've got no interest in you. None whatsoever. Because I know you're selfish and you're not interested in helping your fellow man. And that person will be an island and they will fail. So the reason I'm not interested is very simple. I can't help you. Until you help yourself and see it, there's no helping you. Right? However, if you're open-minded and you can see the group as an entity together, then you can help. Because that's when you sort of look to learn off this one, look to learn off that one. Even if it's just advice from old shoulders. Sometimes young shoulders say something that's, you're right. There's nothing like looking at the innocence of a child sort of thing. You know? Because they look at it the way they see it. And that's what trading is. Look at it the way you see it, not the way you think. Something for you to ponder on. Anyway, that's me done. Quite happy with that trade. Live with it. And it is dropping down again, so it's still staying in the parameters. But I'm busy in the next 20 minutes. I've got a meeting to go into, so maybe it's come back to the charts a bit later. So look on the social medias. You'll find me on Instagram, Twitter, all that sort of crap. Make certain it's the original one though, because there is a lot of fakes out there. If you ever follow me and I ask for investment, it ain't me, because I never, and I don't directly message you either. You know, if you message me, I'll always respond, but I won't single anybody out. So that's a good way to figure out whether you're on an original channel or not. So be safe out there, guys. Be very safe. And as always, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.